Dr. Limitless, what would you tell the people today? Yeah, I know y'all got excited feeling that energy, baby. What we about to talk about today is the top 10 greatest rappers of all time. You're going to get my list. You're going to get D Still. He looked like he in Damn It character. We about to have some fun. But right now, I want D Still to introduce himself, and then we're going to get into what this is about. D Still, let these people know who you are and where you're from, brother.
Uh, my name's Deon Williams, aka D Steel, originally from North Carolina, then to VA. Now I'm back in the Carolinas, but I'm in SC.
Okay. SC. So you see SC, NC, we all over these places, man. Now, this is just some places that he's saying he lived at. He's been all over the world. And you may say, well, why in the world is that important? If we're talking about the best rappers of all time, we got to be able to have some range on this. We lived up in Northeast. We was in Boston, Marky Mark, Funky Bunch, all of that. You know, when we had rock and roll, ZZ Top. I know you remember all that, D. We grew up on rock and roll. I remember when the first rap song I ever heard, D, before we get into this, first rap song I ever heard, it was Walk This Way. And that's when I was like, yo, what is this music, man? Like, when was the first time you heard rap music to where you was like, yo, this is something different? Because we grew up on that rock and roll.
Well, first time I heard rap and it was like something different and innovative, it was Curtis Blow. You remember we
Yeah.
playing basketball. We're playing basketball. Yeah, that was my first Curtis Blow. That dude was smooth, man.
Listen, and you look, anybody that played ball, and we talking about, we play some real ball. We from North Carolina. So when you play ball, you sitting out there on the sideline hoping that you could get in. And it's just like that. When you hear that song, we playing back, like you just dream that you could be out there with them big boys. It just brought a different type of feel to it. I definitely remember that song. All right, so getting into the top 10 greatest rappers of all time, you see the top 10. All right. So I got my top 10. I wrote them down. And I did ask Deon a question. I didn't tell him all the questions we're going to ask. But I want you to say, Deon, your top 10 best rappers of all time. This is not going into lyrics, just the best rappers that you would say of all time. And why would you say these are your best rappers of all time?
So you want my list first and then why, or as I go, how you want it?
However you feel.
All right. Well, we're gonna start off Tupac. We're gonna say Biggie, DMX. We're gonna say Lil Wayne. We're gonna say Nas. We're gonna say Kanye West. We're gonna say Jay-Z. Um, the last ones, man, them last three is kind of tough. But I'm gonna have to throw 50 Cent in there. I'm gonna have to throw in there. I gotta put a female in there. I'm putting in Queen Latifah because she was an innovator. She brought in other females. She got them going. It was some before her, but she's an icon. Um, and lastly, I'm gonna throw in. This is gonna be controversial, but the RZA because he started the best super rap group ever. He's a dope producer, a movie maker, and he's the head. He's the head of the Voltron.
And see, I know who the RZA is, but explain to the audience what group was he in charge of, just for people that don't know rap like we know, especially in the 90s.
The RZA is the leader of the Wu-Tang Clan, and they basically did it off their name off of Kung Fu because they love Kung Fu and the five deadly thing, the five deadly venom, and basically that's what Wu-Tang came from. Got a lot of Asian, lot of Asian. What's the word? A lot of Asian.
Undertones, rhetoric, or
Yeah.
spiritual philosophy.
Yes.
So it's funny because look, and I gotta go throw this in there why he said the Wu Tang. I know y'all may be like, dang, black dudes, we got tattoos, whatever. And you talking about, what are you talking about? Kung Fu. Look, if you grew up as a black person, poor projects, or just black in general, you know about Kung Fu. And you'll see our list is going to be somewhat similar, but it's kind of our backgrounds. But Bruce Lee was the greatest Kung Fu fighter that I used to love. I used to like Bruce Lee. I even liked I like Jackie Chan, but I like the old school Kung Fu fighters a little bit more. So that's why Wu-Tang Clan is so significant, because they were so deep, but also they was touching on a lot of things that was in the black culture back then. I feel like.
Yeah, when Wu-Tang came in on the scene, it was it has never been done before. They took it by storm, and you had the RZA, the Jizza, ODB, Method Man, Ghostface Killer, Raekwon the Chef, and Capadonna, You God. Like they came in, and it was never done before. Like them guys was innovative, and to this day they have put their prints on hip hop.
Hey, I can't go against none of that. All right, so you hear Deon's or D Steel top 10 greatest rappers of all time. You're gonna see that our lists are pretty much similar. It's three that's a little different, D. And I will tell you this, Deon actually kind of got me on this now. You know, I love my women. I love y'all. Think y'all the greatest creation ever. But this dude said, let me make sure I look out for my sisters. And if I had a clap right now, I say, clap this man up. He said, let me look out for my sisters. So I'm gonna make sure that I get one in the top 10.
Step high five.
Now, I am Dr. Limitless, so there's no limits on me. Sexual orientation, gender, nah, I didn't think about none of that. I said I'm going with the top 10. And did a woman make it? I'm sorry, ladies. No, you did not. All right, so let's go with mine. I got Tupac, I got 50 Cent, I got DMX, Lil Wayne, I got B.I.G. just because of, I don't think the catalog really is that long. And I know some people in New York, y'all might go crazy, but I had to pick him just because of the significance he was to hip hop when I was coming up. Snoop, I feel like Snoop first album is one of the best albums ever. I don't know if that's a little bit of Dr. Dre, but I feel like Snoop killed it. Never made an album that could even match that. Then I got Kanye. Kanye is versatile and probably still one of the best lyricists out there. And I like the way he think. I don't agree with everything he say, but has some deep philosophy. Jay-Z, got to give it to Jay-Z because of longevity and just he is a hustler. He is truly a hustler. Eminem, I was joking with my brother the other day. I said, I'm not going to lie, I don't really bump Eminem in my car, but Eminem is one of the best lyricists, best rappers out there, and he had a huge impact on hip hop. And then my last one is I got to give some love to the South. Put T.I. in there. So T.I. made my top 10. Nas definitely could have been in there. And I think sometimes it vacillates back and forth between my bottom five, but I like Nas, I like Deon, Queen Latifah, and I like the RZA. All right, so let me ask you this, D. Out of your top 10 list, if a rapper had to go, which rapper would go and why?
Queen Latifah,
Okay.
because she should have never been in my top 10. Oh, I'm sorry,
Wait
Queen.
up.
I love you
I thought
though, baby.
hold up. I thought you was giving love to the ladies. Hey,
Hey,
listen. You see, Dr. Limitless got him.
I love Queen Latifah, and it was more honor. Let me do my top 10 again. All right.
Okay. Hey, these are the rules. Hey, it's no rules. Let's hit the top 10 again.
All right. We got Tupac. We
Okay.
got Biggie. We got Kanye, DMX.
Okay.
We got Jesus, Eminem.
Okay.
Uh, okay, let's see. We gonna go with T.I.
T.I. Okay, so you like that I threw T.I. in there. Okay.
I gotta give some love to the South.
Okay.
You know, how dare I? We gotta throw in, man. How many I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh man. I'm gonna have to put Snoop, man,
Okay.
because Dog Pound itself should put him in there.
They had some hitters up there, man. Corrupt, Daz, they had some hitters.
DMX, and my last one, 50 Cent.
I don't know if you said 50 Cent before. It might be Jay-Z. I don't know if I heard that.
Oh, I probably did say 50. Jay-Z.
Okay.
I don't think he's a great rapper, but how these cats are talking about he the greatest. He the greatest because he put all his features, he always put the hottest rappers up at the time on his stuff, so it make him look hot. Now Jay-Z's great, but he ain't in my top. He ain't top 3, man. I can't give it to him. Yeah, he's made a lot of money. He's a great businessman, but lyrically, honestly, it ain't. I don't remember his songs. His songs, he's made money, but to me, it's just not memorable. Like if you said, give me 10 Jay-Z songs or you're gonna die, I'm a dead man. Because it just don't hit like that.
All right.
You
So
take away people that was featured on his stuff and you say, no features, 10 great Jay-Z songs, you're dead. Everybody's dead.
hold up. You can't, first of all, you can't do that. I would say this. Hey, Jay-Z fans, look, I would say this. I believe it's some truth to what he's saying. I believe it's some things I wouldn't necessarily agree with. I would say this.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Give me 10,
No,
four.
we're not.
Hold on. Can you give me 4 no features, great Jay-Z songs?
I can give you 4. So we got H to the Izzo. We got Anything. We got Hard Knock Life.
Anything got the kids though.
Nah, but it's still him.
He featuring kids, man.
No,
He knew people gonna love it because of the kids.
No, I'm not doing that to him,
Do
man.
solo Jay-Z.
No,
Take away the hot producers. No, Pharrell. Take them away.
We're not doing it. Listen, you know Pac is my greatest, but I would say this. Jay-Z, he has made some hits. Now, would I say, and I think I was talking to you about this, do I believe, and Jay, if we ever meet, dog, it's not personal. But listen, this is what I'm saying. I think if I went to another country and you said, who are the people going to know? Jay-Z, Tupac, DMX. I'm going to say Tupac and DMX. It's kind of like what I was saying to you. You got Bob Marley, you got Sean Paul, you got Buju Banton. I think Buju Banton is one of the greatest up there. Bob Marley hits different. It's like you feel their soul. I feel Tupac and DMX soul. But I will give Jay-Z this, and you gotta be mindful on this, because behind every greatness is some great skill that God gave. To be able to know all of those rap songs and never write them down, that means God is touching his brain in some way that I can't even fathom. So I will say that. Like, do I believe that is a work? Because look, there's been Mac was a better basketball player than me. He could not work me. So in the 7th grade, he got cut. I made a team. Jay-Z's that guy that has impeccable work ethic. And then you put the hustle to that. I think that's why he worked his way into the top 10. I would say that. You disagree?
I would say Jay-Z is one of the greatest businessmen ever.
Okay.
He's one of the greatest rappers. He's in the top 10. I can't take that away from him.
And you know, if you was on a long road trip, you're gonna be playing that Jay-Z and you're gonna be in there be like, yeah, baby, I feel like I'm in You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're in Marcy Projects. You know,
Nah, I'll be I'll be on that Kanye, that Tupac, that 50. I mean, yeah, I'll play some Jay-Z, but
so he does make the rotation in. He makes
he'll
ro-
make the rotation. But I mean, I'm a diverse listener. I listen to all cultures. I can't just listen to hip hop on a road trip.
Now I will say, hey, look, all right. So we talking about the top 10 greatest rappers. I will say you do have a diverse catalog. I have heard songs that I've never heard in my life. The song by Rick James, it just comes in my mind when I'm in my sleep sometimes. You know, and I'm like, dang, I don't know what club or where we was at, but that song made me. I literally wanted to dance all night. I don't even like to drink, but I wanted to sip and sip that night after hearing that song. Man, I thought I was Rick James.
Yeah, Rick was a he was a great guy, man. I mean, I don't know about personally, but he was funny.
So let me ask you this: like, what was it? Do you think it made you fall in love with rap music? Was it girls? Was it being in a club? Was it like when did you fall in love with it?
Um, it was ours. I mean, most music started from black people anyway, but it was just our thing. I mean, it started with breakdancing, and then the graffiti. It was the culture, like hip hop. That was the start of the culture for the new age black man. We got away from uh, the civil rights movement. We had more freedoms, so we stopped being afraid to be in this white American society, and we basically was like, we free now. We can say what we want. We can do what we want, and that's what hip hop was. You can't hold us back.
You know what's crazy, man? It's two things. Well, and even that last thing, hold us back. It's three things you said that really resonate with me. And I mean, you thought about it, you know, with what you're doing with your life, how you taking invested in yourself. But you said it helped us stop being afraid. And I think how even when you self-destruction, you headed for it brought us like unity, like a power. Like even if you come from, you know, at the time we was coming up, you had neighborhoods, cliques, you know, and then the gangs and all that emerged in the South anyway, in North Carolina, and they had gangs and all that. But even though we may be violent to each other in that culture, it's like rap music still bring us all together, especially back then the hip hop. So I definitely think it made us stop being afraid and like, what are we afraid of? You know, it's like shit. We face the hardest things in our culture anyway. What do you be afraid of, man? Like, and then when you say just allow us to be free and not hold us back. Think about like some of the challenges you face in your life, personally and professionally. How do you think that sort of resonate with you when you say, I stop being afraid, I feel free, and nobody's holding me back?
Well, it just gave you the courage to know all the stuff we've been through, and they talk about it in hip hop. What we were going through, people like Chuck D, Public Enemy, Fight the Power, 911's A Joke in Your Town. They talked about what we were dealing with and gave us
Deon,
the
black. Hold up. I want to interrupt you because you put me onto this. Black Cop, KRS-One.
KRS-One, Black Cop. That's the thing. Like they gave us the voice and they were giving us direction how to move in society. And unfortunately, they're always watching. They started watching and they saw the power of hip hop. They saw the power of leaders like Chuck D, like KRS-One, like Tupac, people that were saying things. Ice Cube is another one. They were saying things. So that's when the
And let,
culture
let me let me
vultures.
let, let me say something, Deon. Remember where you at. I want to say when he's saying they, this is not for everybody. This is not even a certain group of people. Because and anybody know Dr. Limitless, I don't believe in social constructs. This is not about white people. This is about a system that sees individuals as a threat, and they say they're getting advantages or they're climbing a little too high. We got to crush them. So it's the system. Now, if certain people look a certain way in that system, you can call it whatever you want, but it's a system that don't want certain poor people or people that they don't want to have power to get in a position to have a voice.
Black
So that's what
people.
he means. So that's what he means.
Black people, even though we don't believe in race, because there's something about melanin, and I don't want to get into all that, but they don't like people like Tupac speaking positive, speaking and giving direction of how to move. So then they put their own people that look like us in place to give us bad direction about doing drugs, killing your own, not caring about life in general. There's no love now in hip hop unless it's underground.
Can we
And they're
even
not
call
going
it?
to,
So then, can we call it hip hop? I don't want hip hop to be sort of sour to what we call this today. You know, some people call it drill music. I don't feel like hip hop was about let's promote killing my brothers and sisters for no reason and just raping and doing all. So I don't want to associate that with hip hop.
yeah, but that's what they're calling it. They're calling it hip hop, they're calling it rap. And I want to ask you, tell me a rap song that you've heard with the word love in it in the last 5, 10 years.
And look, I would say, and I wouldn't say it's like necessarily look. It's Kendrick Lamar, which is love, but he's talking about his woman. But outside of that, the first song that came to my mind with Black Eyed Peas is "Where Is the Love." You know, so that realistically, if we've been honest, Black Eyed Peas was a song that really came to my mind that's talking about unity, you
Yeah,
know, bringing people together.
yeah.
And
And that's
that
the
got to be
thing.
what, over 10, 12, 15, maybe 15 years old. That's old.
Right. And that's the thing. They don't want us to have love. They want us angry. They want us killing each other because them same ones that own the record companies, which Kanye said all this, and everybody want to look at him like he crazy because he say crazy things, but he also says things that really are relevant and make sense. It's just like you take a homeless person that people might call crazy. If you sit there and talk to him long enough, he's going to give you a moment of clarity and some great information. So the thing is, the same people that own these record companies that are controlling these rappers and allowing them to say certain things and won't allow them to say certain things also own the private prisons.
And think about what you said too, though, Deon. The whole word crazy. Realize crazy is just an illogical or a senseless statement to us. But if somebody can understand it and make sense of it, is it really crazy? So I think we get so lazy sometimes with just using words because we don't understand it and call it crazy. I want us to be careful with that, but it goes to social constructs. Is it crazy? Some of the things he said, maybe it's not. Maybe it depends on how we're interpreting it. Maybe we're too lazy to take the time to interpret it appropriately to make sense of it. So I don't want to just call Kanye or anybody that make comments like that
Yeah,
necessarily crazy.
and me personally, I don't think he's crazy. Like Kanye is he's right there with Tupac. I'd say under him far as the knowledge and wisdom, um, in my opinion. Like he was calling himself a god like 15 years ago. And when I first heard it coming from a Christian background, I'm like, he's calling himself a god? How dare he? But when I broke away from Christianity and I started finding and searching for God myself, I understand. And I'm like, wow, this dude had it right all along.
And this is what I want y'all to understand what D Still is saying. He's not saying Kanye may not make comments that may have offended people. I will agree that he have made comments that offended people and things that I wouldn't say. And I don't even know if he necessarily believe it, but I don't believe certain things that he said. But I believe he's crazy? No, I don't believe he's crazy. And I believe it's his perspective. And I may have said things that may be offensive to certain people because of my perspective. I don't know if he meant that. I don't know Kanye, but I'm just saying it's a difference between crazy or illogical or saying something offensive and somebody still being genius in a certain area. So I don't want to discredit him on that, but I don't want to say that he hasn't said things that may have been offensive to certain people.
I agree.
All right, so let me ask you this: where do you think rap music is going?
Yeah. Um, I want to be optimistic and positive. Um, Eventually, I'm hoping we get back to love and more than violence, drugs, and sex, and what you wearing and how much money you got. I hope that the rappers are allowed because I feel like they're not allowed, but to rap about those things. So I don't know. Everything comes to an end though, so it has to hopefully go back positive. Hopefully. But what I will say about that though, the ones that aren't don't have a lot of melanin are allowed to be more positive in their rap. I don't know. Maybe that's just a coincidence.
And I will say that I do agree. When you just listen to the music objectively, you will say, well, I see that this and we're just doing this for symbology. This white rapper is able to, hey, say these things that we like, yo, this is kind of dope. I can agree with it. And it can sort of relate to kids that's in school, where you may hear a black artist that's trying to come out with it. You never hear the music out. And I would even say Lil Durk, when he made a song with, what's the kid from Fayetteville? Well, I don't know. J. Cole. Very positive song. It didn't really get a lot of airplay. But anything that he put out that was violent, it got a lot of airplay. And you do ask yourself,
Exactly.
why is that? You know, when you go to the schools, your kids, my kids, they're very cookie cutter, clean cut kids. I don't think they will relate to a lot of this drill music. So to me, if you're gonna make music, it needs to represent everybody that's in that culture and that community, and not just try to isolate it and focus on that bad part of it. And I don't even want to say the bad part of the culture, the ignorant part of the culture that is still caught up in ignorance. But every culture has that. But you don't. I would say I agree that you see it more in the black culture. That what we brag about and what we highlight is that negative part, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
That's what I was gonna say. They make sure to highlight our negative stuff and keep pushing it out there to the kids. Keep pushing it out there. But with them, it's here and there. But with us, keep pushing out that negativity so these kids will turn into criminals and do something stupid, and they'll be in our prisons we're investing in. And
And
then
look,
we'll let them out of prison, and then they won't be able to get a job to make ends meet. So they'll have to go back to crime, and they'll be back in our prisons, which will keep filling our pockets.
and let's just be honest about what's being said here. Whether you agree with it or not, we live in a capitalistic society where money is made off people going to prison. You have college degrees, people graduating from college every year with a criminal justice degree, or they're going pre law, and then they go to law school. And then when you crank out lawyers, they go in and they got to practice law, or they got to become prosecutors or DAs or whatever. So it's a system. And then you got correctional officers that if the prisons are not being filled, why do you need them? You're going to close down that, and then there's going to be a gap in employment. So it is a business. I just wish if we, and I'm not saying don't show the bad culture of or the bad part of society of any culture, because I think we should be celebrating one culture. But if you're going to talk about an element that's bad, you need to be also talking about all the elements that's positive. And when you look around this country and you see a lot of things that we celebrate, it's black excellence. If we want to go into cultures and that, so we need to really, really focus on that and stop just showing the negative parts because we don't like seeing it being a part of that culture. And I know my other brothers and sisters from other cultures don't like seeing it as well. So let's just be fair, like D still saying, share it, show it all.
Let's be fair, people.
So all right, so now we have the top 10 greatest rappers debate. Let me ask you this. This is going to be the last question on this, and then we'll start transitioning out. If you had to say these are the 5 best lyricists, who would you give it to?
Man. Lyricists. Eminem, Lil Wayne, Kanye, Andre 3000. How many I got?
That's 4.
Lyricists. T.I. be saying some stuff too.
Yes, he does.
Nas. Oh, how could I forget Nas?
No, that's good. I don't know if it's so. I would say you said I would say T.I. I'll say Kanye, Lil Wayne, Jadakiss, Nas. Those would be my 5. Those would
Okay.
be my 5. All right,
I got it.
so what should we I'm gonna start. I like actually having you as a guest, man. So I'll probably start trying to incorporate you on Sundays if you're free on some of those Sundays. What do you want a topic to talk about moving forward next Sunday?
Can you use profanity on your show?
Yeah, you use what you want.
Cause I don't know if I could do every Sunday, cause I'm out here trying to get a motherfucking scholarship.
Well, look. So we'll definitely be bringing them back. We'll talk about topics. You all tell us what topics you want as well. Deon or D Still, anything you want to leave with the people before we get off?
Back to that question, I forgot. I got to throw in one more. I'm gonna have to have 6. I forgot about the Jizza, the genius. That dude he's a lyricist.
He was cold. Method Man said some stuff too now.
He did.
Yeah. Especially that MOT, HOD Method Man. Hey, he came with it.
Yeah.
He came with it. Hey, anything you want to leave for the Be Limitless people before you get off D Still?
I just want everybody to love each other, get away from sexism, colorism, racism, religion, and just love the person. Stop judging if they're doing things like you or if they're not doing things like you, if they worshiping your God or their God. It's only one God, it's only one race. Peace and love, people. Peace and love.
Couldn't have said it no better. Peace and love. So what we're going to do is end with, you look at yourself in the mirror, man, and say, today is a glorious day. And for 86,400 seconds, I will give my excellence and my best until I'm laid to rest. I'm abundantly blessed and never stressed. Be better than your best and never, ever rest on your last success. Check your life. Be limitless. Be limitless, my people, until we meet again.
Goat James.